and what are the tools that are involved to tune the database. So what are the parameters involved in doing the database? Okay. So today we will see the demo on all those parameters and tools. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you want to tune the database, so these are the resources that are used by SQL statement. Okay. So if you can able to identify the SQL by means of all these tools. Okay. One is OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager. Okay. Second one is automatic workload repository report. Okay. Third one is explain plan of the SQL query. Okay. So fourth one is SQL trace plus TK proof of the SQL query and auto trace.
Okay.
Okay. So based on our convenience, we can use any one of the tool, or we can take any one or two of the tools. Okay. And then we can analyze the SQL.
Okay.
Okay. So first we will see AWR report. So OEM is you tried OEM?
No, I will try maybe today. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But it's an interface, right? Basically, it's an interface,
Yeah,
right?
it's an interface. Yeah, in the interface, just it will throw if any errors are there like that, it will throw in OEM itself. So if OEM is not enabled in some of the organizations, they will not enable OEM. Okay. So in that cases, they need to analyze AWR report.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And is it there on your system? Can you OEM?
OEM I have installed, but I forgot that port and URL.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, tomorrow what I will do, I will create one more database with OEM. Okay.
Okay.
So I will show you that OEM and all.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I will also try today DBC. Yeah. Today.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. No, yeah. Okay. And
AWR report, right? Yeah.
yeah, AWR. Yeah, AWR is nothing but it's a automatic workload repository. It's a package which will describe about all the database configuration, all the database changes and all for the particular snapshot.
Okay.
Yeah. So first I am exporting the database. Okay.
Okay.
Now I have to go to cd.oraclehome/rtdms/admin. Okay. So this is the location I have to go. There I can see AWR star.
DPMS. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we have AWR rpt.sql and we have one more like AWR rpt i.sql. Okay. So AWR rpt is for complete database. Okay.
Okay.
So AWR rpt I means I for instance. Suppose if you have two node rack and if you want only one instance details and all, then you need to put AWR rpt i.sql. Suppose in any one of the node if there is an issue, so I want to figure out the issue, I want to figure out the SQLs and all. So then we have to generate AWR rpti.sql for single instance.
Okay,
so
single instance RPTI. Okay.
Yeah. So for complete database, so we need to run AWR rpt.
Okay, and in rack, change to
rack for rack complete database AWR rpt.
Okay, for instance level?
Instance level AWR rpti. For only single instance. Suppose two instances will be there, right? In rack, So suppose the DBA is my database. So I have instance like DBA1, DBA2, DBA3. Okay.
Okay.
So when you run AWR RPTA in any one of the instance, then it will connect the statistics of only particular instance only.
Okay, we need to run on that instance. Okay.
Yeah, on the instance. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, we have to connect to only particular instance here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now you need to connect to SQL Plus. Actually, AWR report analysis is like a vast subject. So, if you continuously working on report, then only you can able to figure out the issues as soon as possible. Otherwise, it will take time to identify the issue.
Okay.
Yeah. So here I am running in the server, right? So in our organizations or anything, if any of the client is installed in our local PC, then we can run the AWR RPT and connect into that database by means of client.
Okay, like SQL developer.
Yeah, SQL developer, SQL Plus. Yeah.
Just to run the SQL, right? Just copy the SQL and or open the SQL directly on that.
Copy also. If you install Oracle in your local PC, automatically in RTBMS admin location, these files will be there. Okay, so just in the SQL Plus, you need to connect to the database and then run this SQL.
Okay.
So suppose if you run it on server, any on one of the server, then you have to download that file also, right, to your local PC to analyze.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, or else you have to use some tools to open the file.
Okay.
So yeah, whenever you run AWR RPT.SQL, it will ask for all the details. First, we need to check whether the database name is DB2 or not. So my instance is also DB2. Okay. So what type of report you want to generate? HTML or text format? Okay, I want to generate only HTML format. So by default, it will be HTML.
Okay. What is the other format? Text format. Okay.
Text
Okay.
format. Yeah.
Text, HTML is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So I'm just keeping on enter. Now it's asking how many days you want to correct the statistics. Okay, till how many days you want to show the statistics and snapshots.
Okay. So it's last 20
So
days
I'm
or
doing
last
5 days.
last
So
5 days.
usually we will not collect more than 5 days or 6 days. So usually whenever you want to analyze, you will usually take the snapshots of previous day or last 2 days only.
Okay. This is for collecting or like this for analyzing?
Collecting the snapshots.
Right.
So,
Okay. So this is collecting. So just 5 days.
5 days, right? So yes.
From now, next 5 days.
Yeah, next 5 days. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 to 4 or 6 to 7, I have. So it's showing the snaps. So these are the snap IDs. For every 1 hour, it's collecting the statistics. Okay, from 12:30 to 1:30 or 00:26 to 01:30, like that. Okay. So what is the begin snap? So I want to collect from 3. Okay. And then what is your end snap?
Can you explain what is snap? Snap means what, like?
Snap means the unique ID that is given to the particular time period. Suppose I opened the database and I am working on the database around 12:33, okay, night. So till 1:30 I worked on the database. So there is a snaps generated for that time period.
Okay,
And again I said,
these snaps are given by system, right? Not.
yeah, automatically driven by system only. Oracle, taken care by Oracle internally.
Okay, so if you click 3 means from morning
12:33 to
12:33 to
1:30 on 10th
1:30.
February. Yeah, 1:30 a.m. early morning.
Okay, 3 to 4. 3 to 4. Why 4?
Yeah, 3 to 4 is nothing but snap. Here we need to, for this snap ID, so what is the time we need to check. Suppose I have a issue on 10th February, okay, so which is causing issue around 1 o'clock in the early morning. So then we have the snaps from 12:33 to 1:30. So then what we can do, we can collect the statistics between these two and we can figure out the issue.
Okay, but then what if our time range is not there in that level? For
Usually
example,
our
say-
production, it will not happen. Usually our database will be like 24/7, right?
Yes, yes.
So all the snaps will be recorded here for every day. So for every
Okay,
1
this-
hour, all the snaps will be recorded, will be taken care by Oracle internally.
Okay.
Suppose if you shut down the database, then the snaps will not be available.
Okay, like this one.
Yeah. So on 11th and 12th, I haven't started the database. So that's why no snaps available. On 11th February and 12th February.
But
I still have
but
the
my
data.
question is like, see, we are collecting the data from the next 5 days, right? Then it is showing the previous the snaps are for previous things, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Then I don't get it. Like, why it need last snaps for the old ones?
No, old ones, what it is doing is, suppose there is an issue on 10th February, okay? So, but
Okay.
there is an issue on 10th February, something happened, so or some long run query running from 10th February, okay? So today is 13th February, you identified some application people, they are telling ki on 10th February some code changes are moved, so something is going wrong from 10th February. So then what you
Okay.
can do, you cannot check all the queries, right? VDAL, SQL and all. So those SQLs, our database is like 24/7 and will not able to maintain all the SQLs in VDAL or SQL, okay? So we cannot predict the SQLs from the VDAL or SQL views and all. Then Oracle is providing a repository report which can give the statistics for that particular time period. Okay.
Okay.
So that we can able to identify what happened on 10th February also. If I open the report, you can able to figure out.
10th February. Okay.
Okay. So what
Okay.
I am entering is I have, suppose let us assume like there is an issue on 10th February around 1 o'clock. Okay. So to identify the issue, I am collecting the statistics between 12:33 to 1:30.
Okay.
Okay. We need to enter snap IDs only for that particular time period. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So now it will ask what type of report you want to generate. So I am just giving AWR underscore 10 Feb underscore stats dot HTML. Okay.
Okay.
Now it's generating the report.
So that means like the one which we entered on the top, like the 5 days.
Yeah.
It's just a period. That doesn't mean like next 5 days. It could be like any 5 days.
Yeah, any
Previous.
5 days. Yeah, yeah.
On the last 5 days, it will pull up the
No,
data.
last 5 days. Yeah, last 5 days only.
Last 5 days, what is the issue dates or like at what time database ran? Those are called snaps, right?
Yeah, snaps. Yeah.
Just like a trace.
Yeah, yeah. For every 1 hour, it will generate one snap ID, and then it will maintain in the system table space.
Okay, okay. Then what is the max date we will get the data? Like how many period of days we will have data?
So usually we'll maintain 30 days, and we usually purchase that snapshots also.
Okay, so that is the default setting, 30 days.
Yeah, yeah. So if the system table space size is increasing, so then we usually purchase the snapshots. Okay, now it's generated. Come out from SQL prompt. Okay, ls space -ltr start dot html. Okay, so this is the HTML which I generated. Okay. Okay, I am opening this. I think I have to.
So it will be generated in the same admin location.
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to generate in a different location, you need to give the path while giving the file name.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll identify the peak hours for the application. Okay. So
Okay.
what peak hours the application is utilizing the database time and all. So based on the timings, we'll generate the AWS and we'll analyze on daily basis.
Okay.
So one activity of the DBA is he has to analyze the AWS on daily basis, and he has to identify the issue. And one more is like if any release changes are moving to production or something like that. So after moving the changes to production also, you need to run the AWS, okay? And you need to compare the AWS before changes and after changes also, so that you can see the difference. So after changes, any database CPU is increased, any of the new SQLs identified like that.
Okay.
So if bad SQLs identified in the AWS, which is giving drastic change and taking more elapsed time, then we need to report that issue with the developers.
Okay.
So most of the people, most of the DBAs, what they will do, they will apply the changes and they will go home. So that is not the correct way. They have to sit and they have to run the AWS after applying the database changes also, so that he can see what is the difference.
Okay, but Snap is not available, right? Immediately.
Yes, Snap is available. So after after 15 minutes or 20 minutes, the Snap will be available. So it's not only for 1 hour. If you want, you can change it for 15 minutes also. But in 15 minutes, there will not be that much changes, right? So
Yeah,
that's why we usually maintain for 1 hour. So in 1 hour, it can collect all the changes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the report which is generated just now. Okay.
Okay. So like
Yeah.
after deployment, after later 1 hour later, we can we need to verify the snap. That's what.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. AWR report.
Yeah. AWR will generate, right? So just
Yes.
compare the two AWRs, before changes and after changes.
Yes. The last one, deployment 1 hour before and deployment 1 hour later. That is
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that you can see exact difference and all. Okay, this is the report which is generated just now. So if you see here, database name is DBA2, and what is the database ID? Instance name, instance number is 1. What is the release? 10.2.10, and it is not rack. Okay, what is my host name? So on what snaps we generated the AWR. Okay, so we generated AWR from 10th February 12:33 to 1:30. So the complete elapsed time is 56 minutes.
1 hour almost. Yeah.
Yeah. So buffer cache 400 M. So what is our buffer cache, and begin with buffer cache and end with buffer cache? Is there any changes in this cache sizes for that particular time period? So it will give that report also. And what is the load profile? So load profile is nothing but what is the redo sizes, logical reads, how many logical reads, block changes, physical reads and all. Okay. So these all the changes will be recorded. So there will be one more interview question on AWRs. So suppose when you generate AWR report, so what parameters do you check initially? Okay. So whenever you generate the AWR report, first you have to check whether our database is up and running or not. Okay. So
like where in AWR report, how do you know that the database is running? Unless it's running, you will not get the trace, right?
yeah, if suppose if any whether the database is sorry, so if it is not running, the snap will not be available for that particular time period.
Yes.
Yeah, you will get the suppose. Let me show you one more. Okay, I have shut down the database, right? We'll see that one also. That example also I have it, so we'll see that.
Okay, yeah.
So how can you identify whether the database is up and running or not? So first, whenever you open the AWR report, we need to check database instance number and everything. Okay, and then what are the top 5 events? If you see here, top 5 events are there. Okay, so these are the top 5 events that are performed within that particular 1 hour period. Okay, so control file parallel write. Okay, I performed R1 backup that time to take the control file backup. Okay, control file parallelly it is writing that control file parallel writes and all. So it uses some of the CPU time 7 seconds. Data file sequential rates. Okay, OS thread startup, logical file parallel writes and all. So these are all the system input output parameters. And the user intervention is some DB file sequential read means, so from the database file I picked up some of the data, so which is taking physical reads.
Okay.
Okay, that is user input output. So if you have a rack environment, so there will be some more parameters like rack related parameters. I will show you that one also. Okay. So this one first we will analyze. We have to explain like what are the type 5 events, and then based on the 5 events we need to go for the, we need to identify what is the issue, and we need to go to the particular point. Okay. What I have identified is, I have identified a DB file sequential read is happened. Okay, which is taking 415 waits. Okay.
Okay.
Now in the main report, these are the report summaries. Wait event, statistics, SQL statistics and all. So based on my top 5 events, I am going to SQLs.
Okay.
see in the sequels also, so we'll have sequels based on the elapsed time, CPU, gets, reads, executions, fast calls, shared memory, version count, and what are the complete SQL text. Okay. You see here, so there are no SQLs which are running more than 10 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
But if it is a production database, there will be like more than 3000 seconds, 45,000 seconds like that. Okay. So this SQL module is like I am generating all these SQLs within the server itself, right?
Okay. And the
So in
SQL
the
text will also be available.
yeah, SQL text also will be available.
Okay, but in case like it's showing only like first 2 lines, right? Or showing full everything? No.
Which one?
The SQL text is like first 2 or 3
Yeah,
words, I think,
when
right?
you click on this one, so the hand symbol is coming, right? When you click on this
Oh,
one, it
okay.
will be this one.
It shows the full one. So, so for example, if it is taking more time, you can see on the right side and just click the check it out. What
Yeah,
query is
click
taking
on
more time, and
yeah,
we need to check it out. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So this is our test environment, right? That's why we are not seeing that much report. Okay. So from the SQL ID, so most of the SQL models will be JDBC thin client will be there in production. Suppose in the peak hours, if you generate the report, so the SQL module will be like a JDBC thin client.
Okay.
So at that particular time period, I ran RMAN and all. So some of the internal queries are that are running in the Oracle also. So internal queries will be like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, if you identify any of the SQL in based on elapsed time, then we need to go for the SQL based on the CPU.
Okay.
Okay. So if it is using a CPU like 80% or something like that, it will be good. But if it is using a completely 100% CPU, then we need to check why it is using 100% CPU also.
Do we have a personal CPU here? I have CPU elapsed
Yes,
time I
CPU.
have seen, but personal CPU is not given here, right? Can you go? Okay.
There in the
Personal
first yeah.
per execution, right?
Let me show you. Yeah. So in the elapsed time, if you see here, first one is like elapsed time in seconds.
Seconds, yes.
So and on that CPU time is also in seconds. So there we performed only one executions, single execution.
Yes.
So
Yes.
for single execution, how much seconds it took? So 9.57 seconds it took for single executions.
Yes.
So and what is complete total DB time? So DB time involved is 77.25%.
Okay.
So like yesterday I have seen one of the query, one of the AWR like this. Okay, there when I am checking one of the AWR in the top 5 events, it is showing like DB sequential rates and more physical rates. So more physical rates is nothing but it is retrieving the data from the physical file.
Physical file,
Physical
yes.
data. Yeah. So then obviously it will take more elapsed time. There it's like it is showing as 33,000 seconds, and there only one
Okay.
execution. So for one execution, it is taking 33,000 seconds for a single execution.
Okay.
And even percentile CPU time is also like 90%, and input output also like 90%. Okay.
Okay.
So if I have checked that query, so it is available in based on elapsed time and CPU. Okay. In the CPU also it's available, and also in physical reads and all also it is available.
Okay.
So then what I have done is I took that query and so did some analysis on the query, like what is causing that query and all. So there is no indexing on the
Okay.
particular column.
Okay, if you open that query, do we see the user which runs the query and where is the host name and everything?
No,
No,
host
right?
name will display here itself. So host name is displaying here. So SQL Plus is the client. From machine.mydomain.com is
Okay.
the my host name.
Okay, and what about the user? User.
User will not display it here. If you want user, then we need to correct the SQL ID and go and check in $SQL or $SQL underscore area. Then we need
Okay,
to
but
join
SQL ID.
$SQL with the $session also.
Okay, but they are like they are not active, right? But we find the session? Like, do we find the thing?
Yeah,
So these
if
sessions are not active right now, right?
active also, some of the data will be available in $SQL underscore area. Even though it
Okay,
was
based
not
with
available.
that views, we can find out that okay.
Yeah,
Because
but
my
for
what I'm saying is this session is old, right?
yeah, I understood.
They're not live,
Yeah,
so we cannot get the data right from our system, current system. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah. So that's why for that to avoid that problem, what people are doing nowadays is if suppose any of the user, like you are the one user that is running who is running the query more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes like that. So what is they will get automated email saying like this is the user running the query more than 20 minutes like that. They will get the alert in email.
Okay, long running queries.
Yeah, long running queries. So they will identify at that stage itself.
Okay.
Okay. So based on the identification in the top 5 events, so we need to go for which one we need to go. Sometimes if you see here reads and all, if more physical reads also, that is causing some issue. So so mostly it has to retrieve the data from the buffer itself.
Okay, like the query we discussed yesterday. That one.
Yeah. So physical reads, it is causing more physical reads, then we need to go and look at the query also. If more executions also, we need to check why it is taking more executions, whether they need exactly that much executions or not.
Okay.
So we can question that developer also. Why are you performing that many executions on daily basis? If it is like monthly report, they can do that many executions. On daily basis, if he is performing like billion executions like that, we need to ask him.
Okay.
Or else we need to check the other alternative. You can use union also. Instead of running single query, you can run the union based on the timings and you can club the two queries.
Okay.
Suppose our database is running from past 10 years, okay? If he is retrieving the data for 10 years, then it will take more time, right? Then there will be more executions on the single table. So what we can do is we can split the query. So for 6 months one query and the other 6 months one query. So by using union clause, we can combine the two queries. So in that way we can reduce the executions and all.
We can reduce the IO. Okay. I got it.
Yeah. So like parse calls and all. Parse calls, we usually will not check this parse calls. So we usually concentrate on like executions, reads, CPU, IO, and elapsed time. Okay.
Okay.
So now this is the complete SQL test. Okay. So whenever you identify any of the SQL here, what you can do is so suppose if you identify this SQL, you need to search for this SQL in all the SQLs complete test. Like with SQL ID, you need to check in all the sequence order by CPU time, reads, and everything. Okay.
Like
Suppose
like
if you identify one of the SQL in sequence order by elapsed time. So I identified this SQL ID here, right?
okay.
So we need to check that SQL ID in other sections also. Whether it is
Okay, other
available
systems,
in the,
okay. Okay, other
like
tables.
CPU time and all. Yeah. So whether it's available in SQL's order by CPU.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Like
we will
in the other tables here, right? Below tables or like above tables. Yes, you
yeah.
get whether the same ID is making any other issues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So whenever you are reporting to any of the developer, what you can see is I'm seeing this query, I'm seeing this SQL in top 10 queries based on the elapsed time, and it is taking more elapsed time and more IO like that.
Okay.
So like that you need to report developer.
Okay.
So if it is taking more gates like that, you need to update like so these many buffer gates are performing. So for each gets, it is taking gets per execution. What for one execution, this is taking these many gets. Okay. And for
Gets means like reads, right?
yeah, reads is physical reads. Here it is showing physical reads. Gets means from the buffer cache.
Buffer cache. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is good, right? If it is more
Yeah, if
more
it is
than
more
gets,
buffer
that
gets,
is
that
very
is
good.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for one get, how much time for how many gets for one execution also we need to consider.
Okay.
So if it is taking a very large number for gets per execution, so something going wrong, we need to check that SQL also. In the SQL, if nothing is identified, then you can leave it. But if any SQL that is coming in elapsed time, so we need to compulsory check that query. There is something wrong. Somewhere there is some mistake and something is going wrong in the database.
Okay.
So if it is in physical reads also, we need to identify the query and we need to do some analysis on the physical query also.
Yes, if it is going directly to the file list and there is no nothing in the buffer cache, right?
Yeah.
So let me say why it is not in the buffer cache.
Yeah.
Okay.
So SQL's order by execution also we need to check. And then this is the complete test. Okay. So remaining parameters I will show you in other AWR so that you can understand more. Okay. Here there is no much operations, right? So you won't see any that much difference. Let
Okay.
me one more report. So this is the one of the AWR report which was taken at peak hours.
Okay, for your live system?
Not it's a test system only.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a like a dummy report only. So just for our understanding, we prepared this one. Okay. So this is my database. Okay. So this is my release. It's a rack database. Okay. So for this time period, I generated this. For 30 minutes only, I generated the report.
Okay.
Okay. Here buffer cache, there is no change in the buffer cache and all. Okay. Now we are good. Load profiles. So what are the redo size, logical rates and all. Okay. So if you see here top 5 events, what it is showing, GC buffer busy. Okay. NQ transaction index contention. There is something problem with index. Okay. GC current grant busy. Okay. NQ transaction row lock contention and row cache lock. Okay. There is something locking is happening in the database by application. Okay. there is
Okay.
something problem with index also.
Yes.
Okay, these two parameters GC current grant busy and all related to rack cache related one. So from this top 5 events, what I identified, like there is something problem with the index, and there is something locking is happening between that particular time period.
Okay.
So now what I have to do, I have to go to main report, check in the sequence.
Okay.
Sequence order by elapsed time. Okay, I am clicking here. Now it is going to sequence order by elapsed time. Okay, if you see here, yeah,
Where did you click that one? Like you see.
yeah, here. Just I click here. Sequence
So
order by elapsed.
okay. Can you go up like that because I didn't see your mouse. Okay.
Yeah. So this one is previous one.
Okay.
So this is my initial report, right? Begin snap and end snap.
Yes.
Okay. So now I am going to main report. So if it is rack, it will give more rack statistics like that. So there we have seen like a global cache some issue, right? GC buffer busy waits.
Okay.
You observed, right, in that top 5 events, GC buffer busy.
Yeah.
So if you see that
Buffer
one,
busy.
GC what we have seen, global cache blocks received. Sorry, not this one. GC buffer busy waits. Okay, waits are more here, and GC current grant busy. Okay. So if you see that one rack related one, then you need to check here. Okay, in these parameters. So first I want to check out of rack, right? So then I am going for sequence based on the transaction logs.
Okay.
Okay. Now I am checking in the elapsed time. Okay. Sequence order by elapsed time. Okay.
Okay.
See here, there is one SQL. Okay. Insert into order history. Insert into order tracker. Okay. So one SQL is taking more elapsed time. So this is taken 244. 244,081 seconds. Okay. So it's using 84 seconds CPU, and the executions also more, 33,000. Okay. For each execution, it is taking 7.27, and total DB time is 75. Okay. So there is something wrong with one of the insert statement in this out of 10 sequels. Okay. So order history is my table. Okay. So let us see whether this same SQL is available in other sections also or not.
Okay, so 9QA, right? 9QA something. Or you want to check the SQL.
Yeah.
But SQL ID will be same, right? If for that one, or it will be different for the same SQL.
Yeah, for the same SQL it will be same. Single unique SQL ID.
Oh, then we can find it by SQL ID, right? So
yeah, SQL ID. Yeah.
In the previous ID also it was showing the same thing, right? The top one.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you see here, the same SQL ID is displaying here based on CPU time. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's coming from Java WebLogic. Let us see in like gets. For gets on the top 2 queries, it is not available. So this is in top 3.
Okay. Can you move up? Yeah.
Yeah. This one?
Oh no! Right now, what I'm seeing is SQL by CPU. I'm seeing right now. If you go down.
Okay. Yeah. Now, are you seeing gets now?
Yeah. Now it gets. Yeah. So the top 3. Third one is this one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Third one. So here it is not in the first one. So we can neglect this section now for time being. Okay. Now I am going to physical reads, whether any physical reads or not. If you see in physical rates, this is the first one. Top one is the query 9QA. Okay. You are seeing, right, physical rates.
No. Order by reads, yeah. Can you move a little bit? Gonna go up like
Yeah.
go up and go down. Sorry, go down because I'm seeing the heading.
Okay.
SQL order by reads. Okay, it's look like very slow.
Okay, same query is displaying here, right?
Uh,
1737 physical rates. So
okay.
number of users are 33,000.
575. Yeah, this one I'm saying.
Yeah. So percentage total is 53.56. CPU time is 83.73, and this is the elapsed time. So now we can conclude like there is something which with this SQL.
Okay.
So it is
The
appearing
9QA
in
one,
all
yeah.
the section. Yeah.
All the
So
sections.
now, yeah. Now go and check the SQL. Okay. So this is the SQL. Insert statement is taking much time. You are seeing the SQL, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, now I can see. Yeah.
Okay. So so this is the SQL which is causing some issue, which is taking much time, much response time, so more CPU and more executions. Okay.
Okay, that is an insert statement, right? Insert into order
exactly.
history.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So in the top 5 elements, if you observe there is something problem with index contention also, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for index contention, we need to check next parameters.
Okay.
Or else what you can do is from that SQL, you can take the table name and then search for the table also.
Okay, order history and relation.
Table name is order underscore history, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the table. Like this, actually I usually check like this. Suppose if I identify any of the table, so I will go on searching for this table. So where it's appearing. So now it's appearing in the gates, physical rates, executions.
Okay.
So in the top SQLs, okay.
Okay.
So physical rates, now it's coming to here. You are seeing this one, segments by physical rates?
No, I'm still seeing that SQL code.
Oh, okay.
Not that look like very slow. I don't know why. Okay. Order history.
Okay. So order history table is appearing in the segments by physical rates. Okay.
Okay.
So
Segment by physical rates. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to identify what is the index causing the issue.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see here, segments by row lock weights. We have seen in the top 5 events something row locking is also happening, right?
Yes.
MQ transaction lock. So from the table, I identified this one. So it's available in physical rates, and I identify the particular index also.
Okay.
So this is the primary key index. Something wrong with the primary key index while inserting the data.
Okay.
So this index is causing the issue. So maybe they haven't rebuilt the index. So they haven't analyzed the table. Might be that is also causing the issue. So then we need to go and check the table statistics, and then based on that we can tune the query.
Okay.
So in this way we can identify the exact issue.
Yep.
So this is not like single day we cannot get all the complete information. If you go on analyzing for each database on daily basis, you can see different issues.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see here entire 60 dbs or 70 dbs team, so there will be only 4 to 5 members who is analyzing the AWS on daily basis. So not all
Okay.
DBS will not analyze the AWS. So sometimes you will spend 5 hours or 6 hours on the AWS, you will not find anything. So at the end, our organization will look for some productivity, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why most of the people will not check the AWS. So if you practice all these analyzing and everything, you will get good skills on performance tuning. Suppose,
Okay.
from the AWR you are not able to identify anything, right? So then there will be one more option provided by Oracle, that is ADDM report.
ADDM report. Okay.
So we'll see that one also. You are fine with AWR, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So only the thing is on top 5 events you should be able to figure out the issue.
Okay.
So that will come by practice.
Okay.
Okay. From this I identify the index and table. Now we have to go and check the index and table statistics.
Okay.
If you analyze the table and if you rebuild the index, now issue will be cleared.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we see ADDM report. So I would like to show one more thing. If my database is down on that particular snaps, it will not be available. You are seeing my screen that I am running AWR RPT.SQL.
I think you need to go down because I just seeing the connection, like you connected to that. Well, I don't know why it is not showing full screen. I don't know why.
Let me max. Now are you able to see now?
No, not it.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm able to see. Just move down. Yeah.
Okay.
So AWR RPT.SQL. So you just connected to the instance, right? Not started that one.
Yeah, I just connected to instance. Now I am running AWR RPT.SQL. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So now it's asking HTML or not. I am just clicking on enter HTML.
Okay.
Okay. Time period is 5 days. Number of days 5 days. So I want to generate between 4 and 5. Okay.
Okay.
4 and 5 snaps. So in between 4 and 5 there is something went wrong with the database. So the database is shut down. So I'm entering the 4 and 5. Begin snap is 4 and end snap is 5.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's came out from that SQL session. So the instance was shut down between snapshot 4 and 5. So at the time period, what we can do, we cannot check the AWR. Okay, then we need to check the alert log files and trace basis.
Okay.
So you need to go and check the alert log file, who shut down the database and what process invoked there, and for that corresponding trace file we need to analyze.
Okay.
So this is about AWR. Now we'll see ADDM also.
Okay.
So in like AWR, we have same thing in ADDM also. ADDM RPT.SQL and ADDM RPTA.SQL.
Okay. What is the full abbreviation of the ADDM?
Automatic Database Diagnostic Monitoring Report.
Okay.
So like it will give like a simplified version of AWR.
Okay.
Okay, now I am connecting the SQL place. Now I am running @ADDM RPT.SQL. Okay, so it's automatically taking this one 3 days snaps only.
So last 3 days.
Yeah, last 3 days. So we need to enter only last 3 days. So I would like to generate the ADDM report between 6 and 7.
Okay.
The begin snap is 6 and the end snap is 7. Okay, what is the report name? So just give same name. If you want to give same name, you can give the same name here. Otherwise, if you want to generate in different location, you need to give here /u02 or something like that.
Okay.
So I want to generate in the same location. Just I am clicking on enter with the same name. Okay, now it's generated in the ADDM report.
Okay.
So now it's generated ADDM report. Just come out from the session. Now ls space -ltr ADDM star. Okay, now this is the report. Now just click on more. So detailed ADM report for task and task 21 with the ID 21. Okay, so what is the period? So on 13th February from 12:26 to 1:30, 1 hour time period. Okay.
Okay.
So which database and which instance? DB2 is my database and instance name is also same. So what is my host release version? Okay. So what are the snaps, database time, active sessions?
Okay.
So much operations. Just I opened the database and I kept like that and shut down the database for after 1 hour. So there are no enough database time. For analysis, there is nothing happened here.
Okay.
So that's why it's not showing. If anything happened in between, any complex queries ran in between this time period, then it will display here. So who ran the query and everything. So it will be like simplified version. So we can read and understand. So AWR is like it needs some someone has to give the knowledge on AWR. So ADDM is like no need to get knowledge from any person. So we can able to understand by reading this ADDM also.
Okay.
So there is no significant database activity to run the ADDM. So if it is if there are issues only, then we need to generate the ADDM for peak hours.
Okay.
So this is about ADDM report. So these two reports are very important. So we need to practice.
Okay.
So every day, if you see all the production AWRs and all on daily basis, like just spend 30 minutes on one AWR on daily basis. So
Okay.
after 1 month, you will get hands-on experience on all the.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll work on it. Yeah. I'll check it out.
Yeah. So this is for today's class. Tomorrow's class we'll see like how we can do. There are some more parameters, right?
Yes.
We have seen this AWR and OEM, or just try it today. So
Okay.
we'll see these three also, these three tools also.
Okay.
Explain plan and SQL trace and auto trace.
Okay.
But we will take single example and we will see this one. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.